As all of us know, college is typically very expensive, and a lot of us are probably low on money. I know I am. There are many things that we have to spend on which are not cheap, such as food, textbooks, and entertainment. These are usually costs that we cannot avoid. However, there are measures that can be taken to cut down spendings on each of the major ways that we unnecessarily spend our money. Food is a big part of our lives. Food also is not cheap. According to SaveTheStudent.org, and as can be seen from the graph to your right, a typical college student in Europe spends around €105 per semester on just food, which makes up 14% of their budget and is the second highest expense after rent. €105 translates to roughly 125 US dollars, and the website comments that the expenses are similar to American students as well. Obviously, this number can range and fluctuate as certain people spend less and certain people spend more. However, the average is still a large amount of money, especially to college students who might not be employed currently or are not working enough to afford eating out on a frequent basis. A way to bring down the cost of food is to make use of the dining halls on campus or make most of the free food on campus. Here at Purdue, there are many club callouts and also club meetings that offer the members of the club food for just showing up or being part of the club. The clubs also might purchase more food than they use, so students are often encouraged to take some of the food back with them. For students who either do not live on campus or do not have a meal plan, budgeting money for food or buying groceries economically is a solution. Skipping out on name brand foods, for example, and buying the generic item usually saves a couple of dollars per item, which can add up over time. Also, buying foods that are nutritious and whole while not buying junk foods can also help students feel full for longer and can help with their health. College itself is not cheap either. According to a study done in 2017, collegeboard.org has estimated that on average an American student spends about $4,500 on things other than tuition and rooming, which, when included, can make the bill go up to around $30,000 a year. Textbooks and supplies can be extremely expensive, with textbooks that may end up costing a couple hundred to use just for one semester. To solve these issues, a student can help save some burden on their wallets by purchasing used books or renting when they can. Although some classes require unique codes to access the supplemental materials, such as quizzes and exams, many professors let their students know in the first couple of days of school on whether a student needs to buy a new textbook or whether they can rent or buy a used copy. Amazon has a renting option on the majority of their textbooks, and these prices can be half, if not less, than the price of a new book. Transportation, such as Uber or taxis, can add to an unnecessary spending of money also. To save on transportation, students can utilize the free transportation offered on campus. For example, Chicago schools offer venture cards to their students to be able to use the train or buses to get around for free. At Purdue, Boilermakers can use the city bus, which is free of charge. Although it may not be ideal or the fastest form of getting around, utilizing these can help save money. Lastly, we are all aware of the cost of entertainment. Whether this is going out to the movies, hobbies, or activities such as bowling or mini golfing, college students should watch how much they spend and on what they are doing. CreditLoan.com wrote an article in 2017 about how much they believe an average student spends on entertainment alone. The number came out to be near $3,000. Although this total of course fluctuates depending on each individual person, the average shows that there is money being spent in places that can be spent in others, such as purchasing textbooks or just to save in a savings account. A way to help control spendings on activities should be budgeting depending on how much a student has to spend. Some students are fortunate enough to be able to go out every weekend and do activities that they enjoy, while others do not have this luxury. This does not mean that a student should never spend on anything that they do not absolutely need, as a break is very much needed after all the stress that college can bring. They should, however, set aside a certain amount of money to be able to be used on entertainment and try to find things to do on campus that can be fun and cheap. A lot of schools have events that are free to go to or have discounted rates for students that should be taken advantage of when they can be. For example, Purdue has their own bowling alley which costs only $5 to go to. If at the local alley, the price can double if not more. Taking advantage of the perks of being a student can help save money over time if not immediately. In conclusion, there are a lot of expenses to be had as a college student. Ranging from food to textbooks, there are many instances in which students end up spending more than they needed to. If not budgeted correctly, students may find themselves not having any money at all and not being able to take part in certain things or purchase necessary items as they use their money in other fields. Shopping smart and trying to make the most of where you are and the commodities that are offered to you can help keep more money in your pocket and save money in the long run.